Hello students, welcome to CMIS online classes, and this video is for class 7 chapter number 16. The name of the topic is water, a precious resources. So as we all know, for survival we need water. We need food also, we need shelter also, but water is one of the most vital and important part for our survival. And this we can say that as we all know, in planet Earth, only in planet Earth water is there, and whereas in other planets that we know, Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, and even in moon, okay, we are searching for water only, because it is said that where there is water there is a possibility of life. So it is very much important to know about water. So in this topic we will discuss about water. So as we all know, about 3/4 of the is covered with water. Okay, so it is a natural resources that is vital for both plants and animals. Okay, so water is most important and important things, that means important natural resources that is required by both plants and animals. As for example, for plants to produce food, okay, or to grow, they need water only. The nutrients or the other minerals, they get it through the water only. And animals also require water, okay, for to regulate the water body temperature. So water is a very important resources. And why it has been regarded as resources? Yes, because by water only other things like we can produce electricity also, okay, it helps in cooling of the earth, okay, that we will discuss in water cycle later on. So water exists in abundance on our planet Earth. That means abundance means almost we have 3/4 part of Earth is covered with water. That means more than 75%. And in that 75% only, about 97% is sea and ocean water. That means Pacific Ocean, Atlantic Ocean, Indian Ocean, Arctic Ocean, then we have seas, Arabian Sea, Bay of Bengal, Caspian Seas, okay, and these all water are salt water, means they are saline water, and it's not suitable for drinking, okay, and rest almost 2 to 3% is fresh water, and in that also 2% is glacier and ice caps. That means it is in the form of glacier and ice caps, and rest half portion or 1% is that of groundwater. Groundwater means lakes, okay, rivers, water vapor in the atmospheres, and moisture in the soil, okay, and soil also have some amount of water in it. Okay, so we have a chart here, so we can know about distribution of water in this from this figure. Now let's talk about water availability. As I already told that almost 70 to 75% of the earth's surface is covered with water. That means all the water on the earth is contained in sea and ocean. Rivers, ice caps, groundwater, moisture in the atmosphere. That means the 71% of the earth's surface is covered with water, and that 71% is in the form of seas and ocean, rivers, lakes, ice caps, glaciers, even groundwater, and the water present in the atmosphere. But only, as we discussed earlier, only 1 or less than 1% is fit for human consumption. Okay, that means a very little amount is or can be consumed by human beings. Okay, rest are not fit. Either they are saline, that means salty, or either they are dirty. Okay, so the water that is fit for use is fresh water. Fresh water means the water from rivers, lakes, okay, and groundwater after filtration, okay, that can be used by the humans. Now let's towards forms of water. As we all know, we have different forms of water. For example, we have three forms or three states of water. They are solid, as in example of glaciers and ice caps. Okay, we have liquid, that means that is found naturally in the ground, like rivers, lakes, oceans, seas, etc. Then we have in a gaseous form, in the form of water droplets or clouds. Okay, that means in atmosphere. So we can say that we have three states of water. They are in solid state, liquid state, and gaseous state. Solid states, example, we have ice caps, glaciers. Liquid state, we have rivers from oceans, lakes, rivers, okay, ponds, groundwater. Then we have gaseous states, example, we have atmospheric, in atmosphere, in the form of clouds, okay, in the form of moistures. Then let's have a simple experiment using or by boiling or by cooling. So water, when we freeze water, okay, that means when it is cooled, it takes the state of a solid, and when it is heated or when it is boiled, it takes the state of a gas. Again, when the gas is condensed, we get a water in a liquid state, and further cooling we get in a solid state. So mostly these three states can be changed by either cooling or heating. Okay, cooling or heating of any of the three states. Now let's move to other part. So water on the earth has been maintained for millions of years by various processes which makes the water cycle. Okay, so water cycle, we will discuss more about water cycle later on, but in a simple way it can be said that water cycle is a continuous flow of cycle. That means when water is heated, it evaporates. Okay, after it evaporates, not only by evaporation, by transpiration also, it moves towards the air and forms a cloud. And when the cloud is condensed means cooled, okay, or get attracted, okay, it also comes down through the precipitation, that means rainfall, and again through precipitation, through rainfall, it is filled in the different water bodies, as for example in rivers, ponds, lakes, even in groundwater also. And again it moves towards the rivers and seas. Again evaporation takes place and those cycle continues. So when water circulates through the water cycle, it can be found in all the three forms: solid, liquid, and gas at any given time somewhere on the earth. As for example, when the water is heated, evaporation takes place. So liquid water is converted into gas, and that gas is again accumulate in the form of clouds. And when rainfall occurs, sometimes snowfall also occurs. So we can say that it changes its form into solid. And again, from the glacier, after cooling, it flows in a liquid state. That means it depends on the temperature of the earth. Okay, so solid from the snow and ice is present as ice caps at the poles of the earth, snow covered mountains and glaciers. So if there is a solid form, we can see the solid form of the water as the snow, ice, okay, and even glaciers also in the colder region. Then in a liquid water is present in the form of oceans, lakes, rivers, and even underground water. Okay, that can be obtained or drained through various processes, like hand pumps are there. Okay, whales are there, not whales, WELLS, whales are there. Okay, so they are in the form of liquid. Then we have the gaseous form. Okay, the gaseous form in the water vapor present in the air around us. That means air also contains water. Okay, that's why they have a moisture in it. And for that we can have a activity also. Take a salt. Okay, salt is a good absorbent. That means if you keep a salt in the air, leave it on the table. Okay, don't put water in it. As you know, salt have a crystals in it. Dana, it's like a crystal. But when you leave that salt in the air, it absorbs the moisture from the atmosphere. Okay, and you can see the water on the salt. Okay, so the continuous cycle of water among its three forms keep the total amount of water on the earth constant, even the whole world is using it. Okay, as for example, there is a question in mind that if you are using a water, the water can decrease. Okay, so some amount of water is decreasing, but the amount is constant. Okay, due to water cycle. Then we have a source of water. What are the different sources of water? So as already talked that rain or precipitation is the most important source of water. So precipitation in the form of rain or snow provides fresh water to our planet Earth. That means fresh water means the remaining salt, that means salinity of the water while evaporating, only the purest form of water is evaporated and the amount of salt is stored in the ground only. That's why we get this salt from the ocean bodies. Okay, so it provides fresh water to our planet. So most of the fresh water returns to the ocean through rivers flowing across the globe. So after precipitation, that means after rainfall or after snowfall, those get melted, and as we know that water has the ability to flow from a higher region to a lower region. So it moves through the rivers into the oceans and seas. Okay. So the various sources of water can be divided into two main categories: surface water and underground water. Okay, surface water means those water which we can see, like river water, ocean water. Then we have water from whales, sorry, not whales, whales is underground water. That means which we can see: rivers, seas, ocean, and lakes also. They are all surface water. Means mostly they can be seen at the surface of the earth. And underground water, that means those amount of water which is absorbed by the soil. Okay, then we have the water found below the water table is called groundwater. The rainwater and the water from other sources such as rivers and ponds seeps through the soil and fills the empty spaces and cracks deep below the ground. That's why when it rains, okay, it's not that there is a flood of rain, okay, there is water. This soil, okay, the soil seeps all the water in the ground, and the process of seeping of the water into the ground is called infiltration. What is it called? It's called infiltration. Okay, and that water goes through different layer of the earth. Okay, that means from the soil to the gravels, okay, then towards the rocks, and it is stored on the beds. Okay, it is stored on the what you can say, the rock beds, okay, which is below our earth surface, and those act as an aquifer. Aquifer means purifier. Okay, and that water we take it from the tube wells or the hand pumps. Okay, so surface water. What do you mean by surface water? Water present on the surface of the earth is called surface water. That means the water which we can see, and they have been classified into 3 groups. Rainwater, that we can see. Rivers and lake water, that is also present on the surface of the water. Then we have sea and ocean water. That means the larger water bodies. So surface water are those water which are present on the upper surface of the earth, not below the ground. Okay. Then we have rainwater. Let's talk about rainwater. So as we know, it is the purest form of water. Why it is the purest form of water? Because it goes through the evaporation, and only water is evaporated there. All the impurities is left at the ground only. But when it rains, again it accumulates, or it is mixed with the impurities of the air, and it will not be the purest form when it falls on the ground. So at the top, okay, at the top means at the source of the rainfall, it is the purest form. Because as the water from seas and rivers evaporates to form water vapors under the heat of the sun, it leaves behind all the impurities, as I have talked. When precipitation occurs, the first shower dissolves certain gas present in the air and also brings suspended impurities in it. So as I told that due to evaporation, all the impurities are left behind. But as it rains, again it is mixed with the impurities of the air, and again it loses its purity. Then we have rivers and lake water. Okay, the water in these water bodies comes either from rainfall or melting of snow or glacier on the mountains. So we can say that we have 2 types of rivers. One is filled by the rainfall, and another is by melting of the glacier on the mountains. Okay, so in India, mostly North India have the river which is mostly by melting of glaciers, whereas in South India the rivers are mostly by rain filled. Okay, so we can say that the rivers are filled mostly by rainfalls and melting of the snow and glaciers. Okay, then let's move towards sea and ocean water. So oceans are a huge store of water. That means it is a large water bodies, and most part of the water are stored in sea and ocean only, almost 97%. Okay, millions of liters was present in them, but the water is salty and is not fit for any domestic or agriculture use. We can't use the water of sea and ocean, because it is not fit for consumption. It has a lot of salt present in it. Okay, that's why we call it a marine water or saline water. Okay, salty water you can say. So this was all about the forms of water and the type of water bodies. So we will discuss more about in our next video.